Welcome back to my writer's room, everyone. I am Matt Wallace, and thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to come hang out with me here in my lonely little writerly sanctum. Me not being naked on the vlog is brought to you by our t-shirt of the day, which is Captain America 115 there. The good old days before Nick Spencer got paid a bunch of money by Marvel to turn Captain America into a literal Nazi. So that's because Nick Spencer and Marvel are bad at comics and life. I don't know what else to say about that. But I miss the good old days of non-Nazi Captain America. So before we get started here today on this Friday edition of the Daily Vlog, I want to take a second and I want to say a special congratulations and welcome to Paul Kruger. Paul is the author, the very talented author of Last Call at the Nightshade Lounge. If you're a fan of my Sin du Jour books, you should totally check it out. It's demons and cocktails and magic and millennials and just all kinds of relevant, cool stuff that I've been reading it recently myself. Finally got to it and really like it. Paul announced this morning that he is officially going to be represented by Dongwon Song of Howard Morhaime Literary Agency in New York, Dongwon is my agent. And so Paul has become my agent sibling, as we say in the business. I'm very excited about that because I love Paul to death. He's a great guy. Welcome, Paul, to Team Dongwon. I actually met Paul earlier this year for the first time. He lives where I live. It's the strangest thing with authors. But yeah, my agent came to town and had a dinner with a bunch of authors, some that he represented and some that he was just friends with. And Paul was one of the authors that he was just friends with. And at the dinner, I met Paul, immediately adored him, great guy, was struck by how much like Dongwon he is. And was actually surprised that he was not someone Dongwon was courting as a client. I even asked Dongwon about this, and he said, no, Paul's just a friend. So it's sort of like, and I said this, I'm in a Slack group with all of my agent's clients, which is a fantastic list of authors. And it's actually a great resource. In addition to just having a bunch of fun, getting to talk to these people on a daily basis, great resource as an author. But I said in the Slack group this morning when I found out the news that it's very much like the will they, won't they couple from a TV series, like finally hooking up, because now Paul is finally represented by Dongwon. It just feels right. So welcome to Team Dongwon, Paul. Excited to have you as an agent sibling. Excited to see what you and DW do in this wacky world of literary fiction of ours, genre fiction. Like there's a difference. So yeah, folks, you made it. It's Friday. You made it to the end of another very long week. This was a long and draining week for me, like personally, professionally, nationally. Very long and draining week. I'm kind of glad it's over. A lot happened, but you made it. You know, you've won another short-term victory in the battle against this thing we call life. So congratulations on that. I hope you have a great weekend and are able to recharge from everything. There's like so much going on. Again, personally, professionally, nationally. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what I want to say. I was thinking, was there a question I can end the week with, because that's sort of like the structure I've been coming to in these vlogs. Like I end the week with a question, but every question I came up with sounded really patronizing. And then I was like, do I even want to talk about what's going on in the news? Do I want to talk about politics? Do I want to like rant about that? And I decided, no, that I don't want to rant. I want to be positive. Everybody's so negative these days. I want to be positive about what's going on in the country and in the news. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to offer congratulations to people for the things they've accomplished this week. I'm going to keep it on a positive level. I'm going to offer congratulations. It's like I want to congratulate the GOP in Alabama for sticking to their just evil as fuck guns, because it's not an easy thing to do. If you haven't heard about this, Roy Moore, up for the Senate in Alabama, has been having sex with teenagers for years, now accused of having sex with a 14-year-old, which is, you know, they also call that child molestation in some parts of the world. And finding out about this, the GOP are like, yeah, that, but also we don't want to secede power to Democrats, so we're kind of okay with it. And that's a tough road to hoe, man. I got to congratulate the GOP on being willing to take that kind of heat to say, we care about partisanship so much, we're choosing not to care about child molestation. It's bold. It's like whatever else you can say about it, that's a bold stance. So congratulations, GOP in Alabama. You've picked a side, I guess we can say. It's so terrible. It's just it's so terrible. What else do I want to congratulate? I want to congratulate America. I want to congratulate America because this week we officially became the last country to deny climate science and climate change. The last one. Syria signed the Paris Accord that we refused to sign. And by we, I mean Trump. But I just want to congratulate you because we're the last country standing who on a government level completely denies all evidence presented by climate scientists. And that's a hell of a thing to be. To be the last one on top of the hill, shouting over scientists worldwide, pleading with us to take this seriously before half the planet goes dark. I mean, you gotta give props to that kind of willpower. And I want to congratulate everyone who hears that kind of news, who hears the rest of the world shouting, for the love of God, take this seriously for our future, for the future of our planet, for your children's future, for the future of this quasi-empire you've created. For the love of God, take it seriously. And here's that America went, nah, not really. And your reaction is, well, we must be right. Just, again, it takes a stunning amount of willpower, of willful ignorance to just stare in the face of all that and go, no, you're all wrong. Sorry, we're not going to do anything about it. When you know full well, even if not consciously, if you know in the back of your mind, the only reason we're in this position is because everyone in authority in the American government has been bought by the energy industry that we have. This is the truth. It's not a theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not a subjective thing. It's not what's your opinion on it, what's your take on it, what do you think about it. They deny science because they are being paid to by the people polluting the world and creating negative climate effects. That's really all it is. Trump has systemically stripped the government of every legitimate scientific voice and replace them with people who basically say, no, our air is too clean. That was actually a thing this week. Our air is too clean, really, I think. And God will take care of the environment. We don't need to worry about it. So congratulations, America. Last one, last man standing on the hill of climate science denial. Hell of an accomplishment, I think. Who else do I want to congratulate? Want to congratulate all the predators and sexual assaultists and just all the awful people in the entertainment industry for coming forward, those who did, and apologizing for the heinous crimes they've committed now that we've all actually decided to give a shit about it. I mean, yeah, look at Louis C.K. issued a statement today, said, yes, every awful thing you've heard about me is true. Congratulations to him for owning that now that we've decided collectively that we actually care. I mean, sure, Gawker broke the story years ago. It was common, easily accessible knowledge, but it takes a lot of character to, when you are really surrounded by torches and angry villagers, to finally come out of your castle and say, yeah, I fucked up. So congratulations to everyone like him finally doing that. So yeah, congratulations. We're all doing great. I think we're fine. I agree with everybody going, people take things too seriously. Everything's going to be cool. So yeah, this week, as I said, it was extremely long and very draining. I had a new book come out on Tuesday. Everyone was very supportive of that, which I appreciate. It's very strange because, and Fonda Lee, author Fonda Lee was talking about this on Twitter, a book release when you're a more middling author. I'm not calling Fonda a middling author. She's better and more successful than me. But when you're not one of the chosen few legitimate bestsellers, a book release is basically going, hey everybody, I have a book out. And then you just sit slurping tea at your desk, waiting for someone to care. That's all it is at this point. And the thought that I may have a book come out one day that's like legitimately a big deal, where like the launch of it is a thing that people spend time and money on and a bunch of people are invested in, it's actually a weird thought. I don't even know how I would deal with that, because I'm so used to it's just a thing that happens and I sit in my office here and tweet about it, and that's the end of pretty much the discussion. You know, I might go to a bookstore or something and sign some books, and my mother will make people come and buy them, but that's the whole whack at this point in my career. And it's very strange to think about it ever being like that big deal that like when you see an author in a movie when they release a book, how it's a gigantic deal. That's how authors are always portrayed in movies. Like all of us we all do book tours, and it's always a big success when you put out a book, which is complete crap 99% of the time. But it's still a draining. But the thing is, that kind of makes it even more draining. The fewer the people that care, the more it takes out of you trying to get them to care. And the thing is, I have a lot of great readers and a lot of people who do care and who've left good reviews and have talked about it and stuff. But it's not at that mass yet where it's like this overwhelming. It's not like on autopilot. Like it's all me at this point going out there and trying to bring people to the book, and that takes a lot out of you. So that happened this week. Yesterday, I went to the dentist for my first dental procedure in 15 years. So, having not gone to the dentist for a procedure in 15 years, it was pretty... I can't complain. It could have been way worse. My wife had to get a root canal. I didn't have to do that. I had a cavity they had to scrape out and fill, and I have periodontal disease, pretty severe, so they had to give me a deep clean. Then they had to go in with a fucking laser in my mouth as like a Bond villain, you know, like I know, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die, like that kind of shit, and literally burn the diseased flesh from my gums to revert them to a state of what the hygienist actually called baby gums. She's like, listen, you have baby gums now, so you have to take care of them. I can't drink soda for like the next week, which is a huge deal for me. Like, if you follow me on Twitter, you know I have a huge soda problem that I've been working on. I'm at the point where I don't keep it in the house anymore, but I'll still go out and get one. Like you would go to Starbucks for coffee. I'll go to Carl's Jr. drive-thru and get a Diet Dr. Pepper. So last night was just a hellscape of like the worst kind of migraine headache pain you can imagine. And my wife had it too, because she also can't, so she hadn't had any caffeine either. So we were just like literally waking up in the middle of the night and making ice packs and taking a leave and just trying to get it under control. And then of course yesterday my mouth was paralyzed. If you saw yesterday's vlog, you know all about that. And thank you to everybody who really connected with yesterday's vlog and enjoyed it. That's been another thing, the vlog this week. I put out 2 vlogs this week that I'm actually really proud of. The book launch vlog that I did with the interpretive dance, I thought was funny and was really cool. And then yesterday's vlog, which was much more serious in tone, much more genuine. I actually thought that I wasn't sure when I posted that. I thought maybe this will be a mess. Nobody would be able to read my sloppy writing on my legal pads, but it actually turned out really well. So I did those 2 this week, and I'm really proud of that. It's very difficult with this YouTube thing. For me, I know I'm like coming in late to the game, and you know, I'm like a guy in 2010 going, hey, you know, this internet thing, I think it's really going to take off. I know, like, I'm new to YouTube long after, you know, YouTube has been well established, and many YouTubers know what they're doing and know the audience and know the content and just get it. And like, I'm not at that place yet. I'm still trying to figure out what this is all about and what content creation in this format is about. And there's no handbook for it. It's a very individualistic thing. You know, so I write novels and I write for TV, and like I understand those formats and I understand those audiences and what they expect and what they want to see, sort of. Like in principle, I understand it anyway, if not in execution. But with this here, what we're doing, like, it's just, it's really, I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. You know, what is content is, you know, in this medium? What do people want? What do they respond to? Is a 14-minute vlog just way too long for this medium? We're past 14 minutes right now. So that's what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out as I go. I decided finally, after literally a couple of years of wanting to do this, to get this started, I'm just going to dive in to the pool, Hopefully there's water there, and I'll just figure out how to swim once I'm there. But this week, I felt like I kind of started to get on track. Like, who I am doing this, what I want to present, what I want to say. Really what I came to, honestly, is I'm just going to think of things that are true that I don't ordinarily say to people, and then I'm going to try to say that in the most entertaining, compelling way possible. That's really the blueprint that I came up with this week. And it appears to be going all right. People are digging it. So I'll continue to do that. And, you know, I'm sure I'll think of other things along the way, but I hope that's good enough for right now for y'all. So yeah, doing that, and that takes it out of you too, you know, being that honest and like that investigative of oneself. And then the novel I'm working on right now, the middle grade book that I've referenced repeatedly, that's a story that I'm drawing from two very different parts of my childhood, like my early childhood and my teen years, and I'm like putting them together. And that's a really heavy, difficult, draining thing to do when you're like literally like you're doubling up on your past pain and past tribulations, and then try to make that work in like a narrative, entertaining, cohesive context. Like there's the emotional part and the psychological part, and then there's the craft, nuts and bolts, doing the work part. And it's actually taking a lot out of me as I go along. It's totally worth it. I think it's becoming a dynamite book. I'm actually really excited about it. I think it's going to be a really great novel. But it's, like I said, it's just fucking draining. This whole week has just been one draining, physical, emotional, psychologically draining thing after another. And it was heavy. So I'm kind of glad that we've sought this point in the week. It's over. We get the weekend now. I'm going to take my wife to a movie later, and we're going to go sit in the dine-in theater and not order the dry rub, disgusting, vengeful spirit-smelling wings, and we're going to chill out in the recliners and just relax, and then hopefully we'll find a moment this weekend to like seek the silence and regenerate a little bit. Although probably not. She has to go into the office this weekend, so that's going to be a whole thing. But yeah, I've gone on long enough, as usual, more than long enough. Thank you to everyone who supported me this week with the book launch of Gluttony Bay. If you missed that, you can go back and watch the launch video from Tuesday. Check my Twitter. I've been talking about it endlessly there. It's the second to the last book in my Sin du Jour series, the 6th book. The 7th and final book comes out next year. We're getting to the end of this thing I've been working on for years and writing these books, and it's a big deal to me. I would love as many of you as possible to come along for the ride and get into it. If you haven't gotten into the series yet, it's not too late. They're all novellas. They're shorter books. Go back to Envy of Angels, the first one. Read them all. Catch up. I think it's worth it. I have put everything I can into this series to just make it funny and awesome and just action-packed and create characters that you want to hang out with and just create a unique world that you don't read in every other fucking urban fantasy book. Like, I've really tried to do that. I think I've done a pretty good job. I think it's worthwhile. So if you haven't gotten in the series yet, please do so. If you supported the book launch this week, thank you for doing that. Please continue to support the vlog. Please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video and how the blog in general is doing. If you have a question or something you want me to talk about, you can leave a comment about that too, and I'm happy to answer questions or address any topic you want me to address. I'm Matt Wallace. Have the best weekend you can have because you deserve it. And I will see you back here on Monday. All right? I'll see you then, folks.